Hey everyone, welcome back. It is our latest episode of our successful TTM through the mail returns. Oop, apologies there. Let's get this show on the road here, shall we? All right, how many? We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We have 7 big returns, mainly baseball. We do have one football, and we will start off with that successful football return. And that comes to us from Seattle, Washington. And it was 2 of 2, no fee, 14 days. And there he is. It is Mr. Jim Zorn. They're on the 1980 and 1981 Topps cards. So we'll put that there. Very cool. Mr. Zorn played 9 years in the NFL, mainly for Seattle, as you see on the cards there, and spent 1 year each with the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Bucks. He was the first QB in Seattle Seahawks history. He played from 1976 through 1987. He actually formed a fearsome twosome with Hall of Famer wide receiver Steve Largent. In his 1976 rookie season, he was AFC Rookie of the Year by the NFLPA. He was also the Seahawks MVP, throwing for 12 TDs and rushing for 4 in his first season there. For his career, he threw for 21,115 yards, 111 TDs, to go with 141 interceptions. He also rushed for 17 touchdowns and 1,504 yards. Not too shabby. He went on to hold various coaching positions in college and NFL. He was actually head coach of the Washington football team, the Seattle Dragons of the now defunct XFL. He's also part of the Seahawks Hall of Fame Ring of Honor as well. He was actually inducted, I believe he was the second one inducted after his compatriot, Mr. Steve Largent. So there you go, Mr. Zorn. Thank you very much for those great returns. It is much appreciated. And our next return is a 4 of 4 that comes to us from South Maine. It was free, and it was 9 days. And that person is Mr. Bob Tewksbury. There is on the 87 Topps. The Yanks, 87 Donruss. On the 88 Topps. There he is on the, I believe this is 92 Pinnacle. Let's take a look-see here. Yep, 92 score Pinnacle. I know Radio Studios would like this one. Looks like Tewksbury is not too shabby of a artist himself. Very cool. Glad he signed that one. Mr. Tewksbury played 13 seasons in the big leagues. As a pitcher, he played for the Cardinals, Twins, Cubs, Yankees, Rangers, and the Padres. He had a career 110 and 102 record with a 3.92 ERA, 812 career strikeouts, and 1 career save. He was actually an All-Star in 1992 where he went 16-5 with a 2.16 ERA and 91 strikeouts. He finished 3rd in Cy Young Award behind, you guessed it, Maddox and Glavine of the Atlanta Braves that year, which both were 20-game winners that season. One thing about Tewksbury, he rarely walked any batters. In that 92 season, he walked only 20 batters in 233 innings pitched. The next season, he came very close to having more wins than walks, a feat rarely seen in the majors. He was also famous for throwing the ephus pitch. The Hebrew origins of the word translates to nothing. It almost resembles a high-arcing softball pitch. I recommend looking those up on YouTube. They are classic pitches. It was made famous by Rip Sewell of the Pirates, and it basically saved and prolonged his career. And I know there's some Tewksbury clips of him pitching to Mark McGwire that are pretty fun to watch. I highly recommend taking a peek at those. Mr. Tewksbury, thank you very much for signing those. It is much appreciated, sir. And our next one also comes from New England. It comes to us from Brockton, Mass. Let's see who's coming from Brockton. It is a 5 of 5, and it was 9 days, no fee on this one. So let's see who we have here. There he is, Mr. Richie Hebner. There he is on the 79 Topps with the Phils, 83 Topps with the Pirates, another 83 Topps with the Pirates. Very cool. Take it. 82 Donruss, the Tigers. And there he is on the 81 Topps. Very cool. Very awesome signatures. All right, Mr. Hebner played 18 years in the majors from 1968 through 1985 for the Pirates, Phillies, Mets, Tigers, and the Cubs. He batted .276 with 203 home runs, 890 ribbies, and 865 runs scored. He won a World Series title in 1971 with the Pirates. Fascinating tidbit on Mr. Hebner. He played Major League Baseball in the summer, but did you know Richie Hebner dug graves in the winter? Beginning in 9th grade, he continued digging throughout his 18-year Major League Baseball career, even when free agency expanded his paychecks beyond 1976 and 20 years after his retirement. Initially nicknamed the Grave Digger, most just call him Digger now, not to be confused with Digger Phelps. He began earning $35 per grave in the offseason at home in Norwood, Massachusetts, working the 9 cemeteries his dad, William, supervised. Once his dad criticized him for digging a grave too shallow, Hebner retorted, "I never saw one get up from it." Another time he said, "I must have dug 1,000 graves over the years. I like to tell people I'll be the last person to ever let them down." He definitely has a sense of humor. That's fantastic. Mr. Hebner, thank you so much for signing those. It is much, much appreciated. All right, next up comes to us from Provo, Utah. And 4 of 4, free, no fee, 13 days. You guys can probably guess who this is. There's another TTM legend, Mr. Vance Law. And there he is on the 83 Flair. Let's put these together. There he is on the 84 Topps. He has such an awesome signature. There he is on the 86 Topps. And the 88 Donruss with the Expos. Flair, sorry, 88 Flair. Apologies. A little something about Mr. Vance Law. He played 11 years in the Bigs from 1980 through 89 and 1991. He actually played the 1990 season in Japan. He played for the Expos, White Sox, Cubs, Pirates, and the Athletics. He batted .256 with 71 homers, 442 ribbies, and 453 runs scored. He was an All-Star in 1988. That year he batted .293 with 11 dingers and 78 ribbies to go with 73 runs scored for the Cubbies. He's the son of former Cy Young Award winner Vern Law. Mr. Vance Law was also the BYU head baseball coach for 13 years, finishing with .397 and .347 record, and ending his career as coach there with 2 ties as well. Also, when he was selected for the All-Star Game in 1988, he was one of 6 Cubbies selected to the All-Star Game. The others were Andre Dawson, Greg Maddux, Ryan Sandberg, Rafael Palmeiro, and Sean Dunston. That was the Cubs' biggest accomplishment until 2016 when they won the World Series. Kidding, Tony. I'm joking. All you Cubs fans, I'm only joking. That was actually their first World Series title since last winning in 1908. It is now your turn, Cleveland. Let's do it. Shout out to Reindeer. All right, guys. Next up, let's keep the show on the road. We have a 1 of 1, and this was 10 days, and it's $5 per. So let's see who we have here. We have Mr. Jim Perry. There he is on the 1974 Topps card. Very cool. Very awesome. And Mr. Perry played in the Bigs for 17 years for the Indians, A's, and Tigers. He was a 3-time All-Star. He led the AL in wins twice. He's a member of the Twins Hall of Fame. He finished second in Rookie of the Year voting in 1959. And he won the AL Cy Young Award in 1970 with a 24-12 record, 3.04 ERA, and 168 strikeouts. He is the older brother of Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry. They are the only brothers to date to win Cy Young Awards. Both he and Gaylord trail only the Niekro brothers for most wins by brotherly duos. Mr. Jim Perry ended his career with a record of .215 and .174 with a 3.45 ERA and 1,576 strikeouts. His 215 career wins ranks 89th currently in Major League Baseball history. Pretty interesting. Phil Niekro finished his career with 318 wins, while Gaylord Perry finished with 314. And Mr. Joe Niekro ended his career with 221 wins versus Jim's 215 wins. They all had very similar stats there between Gaylord and Phil, and between Joe and Jim Perry. Pretty interesting. Very cool. Mr. Perry, thank you very much. That is much appreciated. And next up, we have a 3 of 3, 7 days free. Let's see. And this player, on August 29th, 1977, the Cleveland Indians defeated the Chicago White Sox 9-2. Who cares, you may ask, right? This MLB player cares, as it was one of his career highlights. Steve Stone was pitching for the White Sox, the future 1980 AL Cy Young Award winner. After striking out Paul Dade to lead off the bottom of the first, the next batter deposited Stone's 1-0 pitch 2 rows into the right field seats. It was his first homer in the majors in his 1,382nd at-bat. It would prove to be his only one of his career in 3,379 career at-bats. That player, some of you might have guessed, Duane Kuiper. There he is on the 82 Topps. 83 Flair with a broken bat. And there he is on the 84 Flair. Very cool. Mr. Duane Kuiper. 1 career home run. He played for 12 years in the Bigs with a career 271 average, 1 home run, as mentioned, 263 ribbies, and 329 runs to go with 917 career hits, all for the Indians and the Giants. Kuiper went on to being an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster for mainly the Giants. And that pitcher, Steve Stone, who gave up his homer, he also went on to be a very successful broadcaster with the Cubs and the White Sox, even working with Harry Carey for many years as Cubs broadcasters. Look at that. Pretty interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Mr. Kuiper. It's much appreciated. And now we have one more, our last return here. It's a 1 of 1, 10 days, and this was 10 per. And another little guess who. This next player played in the majors for 22 years. He played for 9 different Major League Baseball teams, even playing in Japan for the 1990 season. He is a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2008, a 9-time All-Star, World Series champion in 78, 3-time AL saves leader, and is a member of the Yankees Monument Park. And if you guessed the Goose, you would be right. There he is on the 82 Flair. Even inscribed it, 2008. That car looks great. That looks awesome. Sorry, Mr. Law. We'll cover you for a second there. And Goose actually broke Sparky Lyle's club record for the Yankees of 141 career saves in 1983, which was his last year with the Yankees. Dave Righetti ultimately passed Gossage's final total of 151 in 1988. Of course, Mariano has that record now, which may never be broken. And Mr. Gossage still does hold the career ERA record with the Yankees, which is 2.14. The Goose Gossage type reliever has gone the way of the dinosaurs. Today's closers usually pitch 1 inning. When this fearsome reliever was a mainstay in the bullpen for the 1978 World Series champion Yankees, he pitched 134 1/3 innings in 63 appearances. By contrast, Mariano's 15-year high as a Yankee closer was 80 2/3 innings in 2001. Asked about this, Goose said, "I take exception to Mariano being called the best reliever ever. But do what we did, and we'll be able to compare apples to apples. I don't take anything away from Mariano. He was great. But what these guys do today is easy compared to what we did. It takes 3 guys to do what I did." I guess he has an argument. And Mr. Gossage was never one to hold back. He always stated his mind. Mr. Gossage finished his illustrious career with a 124-107 record, 1,502 strikeouts, 310 saves, with a 3.01 ERA. He ended his career pitching in 1,002 games, which is a pretty exclusive club. I know Michael Myers is a big fan of that 1,000 games pitched category. So congratulations, sir. I'm happy to have one of those pitchers from that group. And again, thank you, Mr. Gossage, and thanks to all the players here who signed. It is much, much appreciated for taking the time to do that. And especially to all you guys out there. I know we ran a little over today. Thank you so much for watching. It is much appreciated. And I'll see everyone next time. And be safe. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment. All right, everyone. Take care.